morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
What's going on, y'all? Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning happening right now.
Hey.
Y'all ready to get on up? Moving and grooving, shaking and baking. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It's happening right now. It is Wednesday, the 16th of July. It's going down. It's a nice rainy day. Gonna be a nice rainy, humid day out here today in Omaha, Nebraska. So welcome to that.
Moist.
Hey man, start using nasty words in the beginning of the show. Pops up early with the good Wednesday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. What's going on, Pops? Kimra Snipes says good morning, y'all. And appreciate you guys getting up all early in the morning with us this morning. So yeah, we're fresh. This is what is the second edition already of season 3B, which is
All right.
Space is the Place. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a lot going on today, and we really appreciate you guys getting up early this morning. Buddy, you over there quiet? How you feeling over there? What's going on?
Man, I'm doing all right. Could have used a couple more winks this morning. Still getting used to not being able to sleep in a little bit. But yeah, we here. We are here. Definitely looking forward to today's conversation. Hopefully everything is all right with the tech and everything with today's guest. Cause yeah, this
Yeah,
is a doozy. Definitely a heavy one. So yeah, all
good.
of that. I'm still looking up a couple things here for the conversation today. Of course, we're here for the next 2 hours. A new change for the new season. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, trying to get ready for that.
Just adjust for that. That's what's up, man. We got a special guest coming in, Racquel Henderson, who we've been anticipating getting into the show for a while now. And she's got some things happening. Always been a huge player in the community for the kind of stuff
Yeah.
that we talk about. Boost to the roots, and yeah, lots going on. And now that we have a new mayor, she's in there with the mayor's office now doing some things. So hopefully we'll be able to have a chance to talk to her a little bit later on in the show. So stick around for that. It's also Wednesday, middle of the week. We got a lot of special guests coming in, some things happening, and we're still making some new adjustments to this new season. Like Buddy was saying, definitely every time a break comes, I'm like, I'm gonna just keep getting up early, so I'll be ready for next season. No, but I'll be sleeping in, bro. I'll be taking advantage of that break. So getting up early
Mm-mm.
and getting up early is trying to get the engine revving again for real. So I appreciate you very much, Marlon Harrison in the chat, giving us a good morning, everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I like that. I like that very much. Right on. Wellness is always good. Do us a favor, share the show if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook. Share the show, as many people in as possible, so we can have some good conversation on some of these subjects that we're going on today. As we mentioned, space is the place, is the theme, and we'll be talking about spaces, places. We got to have some discussion about what's going on with ice around the country because of
Man.
not just in other states, but what's going on here because they're trying to remove people from their places, from their spaces, even people just trying to work, just trying to make a living, like Buddy saying, like people just trying to live. So yeah, lots to talk about there here, and not just like I said, not just in other states, but in our state too, right here in Omaha. Big changes being made. Also, I'm thinking about other changes that are coming that we need to be looking out for. Been doing a lot of research on the Fediverse. You ever heard of the Fediverse?
The Fediverse.
Yeah. Apparently
No.
there's a whole kind of underground, peer to peer style kind of internet that's happening, and it's in direct response to all of the social media platforms that are out there doing what they do. And there's other ones that are a little bit more free, and they sit on different servers. So if one of the oligarchs decide they want to change something up, it ain't going to affect you. And
Hmm.
yeah, just as I think more about communication, I think more about how we need to have these conversations, and we don't need to be shut down as some of these public media channels are threatening to get shut down from lack of funding. And
Man.
just thinking about how to always stay one step ahead when it comes to how we communicate with each other. And we might have to get down to carrier pigeons by the time they get done with us.
Flock
Start
of pigeons.
start training these pigeons like ghost dogs. That's what we doing around here.
Man, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson loves his pigeons. Judy Prinzler this morning tapping in saying our volume is a bit low. So if anybody else is experiencing that, let us know how
Mm,
the sound is on this end. Is it just Judy? Let us know. Let us know.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Also, it is kind of interesting. I don't know, people building their own spaces and places. I think that might be kind of the thread for the day, building it yourself. If you remember, did you catch that library that they found in Minecraft? Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
For those who
Yeah.
didn't hear, there was like a secret library that some creators made in Minecraft that you can actually literally go into the game. It's a map in the game. You can go into the game physically. Well, I guess not physically because it's a game, but go into this library, and the library was full of like content and books and documents, links to a bunch of stuff that apparently was wiped off the internet and other places,
Mm,
but you can get some of these banned books, some of these banned articles and everything in this library on Minecraft. It's
yeah.
crazy, crazy.
Yeah. I saw a video last night about a woman who was reminding us that all the Ivy League schools have archives and archives and archives of classes and stuff that you can do for free. Of course,
Yeah.
you don't get the certificate, you don't get the degree, and you don't go into class, but all the material is pretty much there for you. And there's a lot of people on that tip, man, that are saying they gotta do something about collecting all this material because it's a threat of going away all the time. So I've been also looking at. I'm a kind of a tech dude too, so I'll be looking at these little encyclopedia computers built on
Hmm.
Raspberry Pis and stuff like that that they really like keep the whole internet on. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know
So,
about the Raspberry Pis. Raspberry Pi.
hey man, we already getting deep into it, but we appreciate everybody joining us. We'll jump into some community updates and then get to the thread and some of the things we're going to be talking about today. But first of all, since Kimra's on deck, just wanted to mention that she's got a little fundraiser going on over here for One Omaha. She's trying to reach a goal of $3,000. I see that you connected with what's the name of that organization? Um, Share. Yeah, Share is helping you with your campaign. Share Omaha. It's one of those organizations that you connect with in order to raise some funds for nonprofits. We did some Share stuff back in the day as well. So yeah, it's community stuff, man. Help fund three neighbor led improvement projects. I love that. I love that you are raising some money in order to give it back out to the community to do some projects. Here is a link to that fund so that you can go ahead and help them reach that goal and start some stuff. So we got to get down. Yeah, share Omaha. Appreciate that. Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, man, Kimmer's on the move. Kimmer's on the move. I love it. So appreciate what you're doing there. And we've been witness to some of the grants that you guys have given away to community projects in the past. Every little bit helps, man. We gotta keep going with that for real. So appreciate that. She said, "Thank you for sharing." Post about my son. Yeah, man. No, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was real. That was real tight. Real cool. Definitely put those. We put the Cash App and stuff up there too. We'll put that more information on Friends of First Sky Omaha for people that want to donate to Kimra's son, who was going around feeding the homeless. Putting, hey, $5, $10. It goes a long way when you are around there passing out free food to people. So yeah, lots of good stuff going on. We love to big up the good stuff. We can talk all day long about all the negative things that's going on, but we like to spend time on those things for sure. So we appreciate you in a big way. This is coming up Thursday, July 17th. This is tomorrow, 6 to 9. Been seeing this floating around a lot. Good Trouble Lives On.
Hmm.
Rally in the Park. This is a march through downtown from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Heartland of America Park, 800 Douglas Street is where it starts in Omaha. It looks like a QR code that you can scan for more information and details. But if you've already heard of this and you're planning on going, maybe go check it out and let us know how it goes down. Thursday, July 17th from 6 to 9. Rally in the park, Heartland of America Park. I guess they're going to march through downtown from Heartland of America Park. A little bit, it's a long walk there, isn't it?
A little bit. A little bit.
It's a serious march. It's a serious march. So yeah, there you go on that one. Also, don't forget about what's happening every Sunday over at Assembly of the States. Untamed Summer is happening, and shout out to Sherman Wells and Pastor Ballard, Assembly of the States. Everybody who's putting this on over there, this community engagement. July 20th. This is coming up this Sunday. DJ Ray Bay is going to be DJing. So it looks like they're hosting folks, which is
Yeah.
good. They got speakers and stuff coming in the coming weeks. We found out it's gonna be good. And also some breaking news with us. Thanks to who was it that suggested last show? Was that RG? RG?
I think so. I think so.
Somebody suggested that we put our money where our mouth is instead of putting events happening while other events are going on. Merge the events. So we reached out to Sherman Wells and Untamed and decided that we're gonna move the Chad Chimers kickback over to Assembly of the Saints during their Untamed summer event. So it'll be twice as many people there this time, twice as much food, twice as much fun. Assembly of the Saints have outside spaces, inside spaces. It's gonna be real dope. And what I'm really looking forward to the most is Papa God on the grill.
Hey, going
Papa
down.
Papa God on the grill.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's spread the word on that. There's a change on the Chad Chimers Kickbacks place. It's around the same time, still 4 to 7, Sunday, August 3rd. And apparently there'll be some senators over there that day too speaking. So there's going to be a lot
Mm.
happening there. Yeah, man. Assembly of the Saints, our
Mm.
first time over there at Assembly of the Saints in conjunction with Untamed Summer. So you don't have to miss that. Bring the babies. We'll have some music, games. We're going to eat and kick it. Bring the kids. It'll be a good time, and it'll be a doubly good time because we got all the Untamed Summer people that are planning on going to that, and they can go to both, so don't have to miss it. So I love the fact that we got to combine strengths with Brother Sherman Wells on that, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So now, Kimmer, when you win the dominoes tournament, you got twice as many people to show your score off to. Yeah, yeah, it's going down. It's going down. So good morning, Michelle Moreno. Good morning, Wanda Lewis. Appreciate you guys coming in
Hey.
this morning. Yeah, like I said, do us a favor, share the show. Let everybody know. We kind of sneak in here to see like who's paying attention, and we definitely will start ramping up, getting the word out here that the season is back. But you can help us do that as well. So please do.
Oh
Al-
yeah.
Also, what's coming up Saturday, man? This is something that everybody's talking about right here. This is Omaha Jazz Experience. So in Stinson Park is going down Saturday, July 19th. So this is coming up. I don't know if you guys remember the Hollins Corporation. They have been doing a serious jazz and bringing serious artists out for some years now. As a matter of fact, we might have some video here coming up of some of the artists that'll be coming out for this on Saturday. But get ready for that. There's tickets that just are still available, and you can go to the Hollins Corporation a website that's hollinscorp.com and order your tickets there. They still got VIP tickets there too. So check out what the VIP tickets offer and you might want to get down on that too, man. There's a Jazz on the Green happening. People have been telling me that the lineup for Jazz on the Green, I don't know, leaves something to be desired, I think.
Mm.
I haven't seen it myself, but yeah, a couple people told me that, like, is it even jazz anymore? We'll see what's going on over there. When it was a big band last time, is what I heard. So I don't know what's happening, but there's plenty of jazz going on, and this one here on Saturday is always from this company is always they're always bringing the heat, bringing the fire when it comes to the jazz for real. So there you go. You see what's going on. Kim and Kayla Waters is going to be there. Brittany Attenberry, Marion Meadows, and Alex Bouillon. It's happening. It's going down. Omaha Jazz Experience Saturday, July 19th. Again, go to Hollins Corp, HALLINS Corp, CORP.com. Get your tickets, get your VIP tickets. And yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more in the week as well. I mean, we got one more day, so we'll talk about it Friday. Hopefully, have a special guest on from one of the people performing, and we'll talk about it. So that's definitely going down. Don't forget also this was Friday is the last day you can become an ambassador for the Omaha Land Bank as well. We've been trying to push this and get this message out a lot. If you really have any inclination to learn about how to do any developing in our neighborhoods, and we always have a question about the land in our neighborhoods and the spaces and the places in the neighborhoods and how you can get your hands on it or keep it out of the hands of outside entities. This is the best way to come and learn about how to get down with that and really trying to figure out how you can become a developer, even a small developer who can puts up one or two or three houses, like we've been talking about as well. And shout out to Don Curry, who's kind of leading the charge on those things, putting some
Man.
stuff in the neighborhoods that he grew up in. So that's what it's all about. Become an ambassador. Go to the Omaha Municipal Land Bank website. Sign up today. The sign up process is a little bit. You got to kind of put a little resume up in a few things. So it'll take you about 10, 15 minutes to do it. and then the commitment is for you to go to one meeting a month for the next 9 months, I believe, and learn how to navigate the land bank. You might come on the other side of it as a developer in the neighborhood, and that's when you're really making change. Is when you can own the land. So shout out to Omaha Municipal Land Bank for getting down with us on this message. Definitely check them out, and yeah, we'll talk more about that as we go as well. So there you go, man. You guys are in here talking to each other. I love that. That's what's going on. Kimmer says Lacey is emceeing that jazz event with someone, I believe. Oh, really? Okay. So yeah, Lacey be hitting them jazz events. That's what's going on,
Man,
man. Shout out to Lacey Lamar for real.
fam.
And we'll come back with some more community updates as the show goes on. But before we move on to a break, I definitely want to check in with you, buddy. See what today's thread is. What's going on? We're gonna be talking about today on top of everything else that's happening.
Yeah, again, we're here for the next 2 hours. So, be getting into a few things. As Paul mentioned earlier, we are expecting our guest, Sister Racquel Henderson, to come through. So, looking forward to that conversation. Powerful, powerful sister. If you're not familiar with her, the Jobinista, as we're calling her around here, man. If you need a jobby job, usually Raquel is the one to run the hook you up. If you don't follow her on Facebook, man, she posts so many job postings. I found myself looking for jobs when I wasn't even looking for jobs. I was like, man, let me see what she got on here. So definitely big shout out to her. Looking forward to that conversation and putting that in the context of what's going on, man. A lot of things happening. Of course, we've been seeing the layoffs. So the work that she is doing is very heavy,
Mm,
and especially in our area, of course, millions of dollars being pulled from public broadcasting, which impacts us. And again, what we're trying to do as far as having the voice be heard, having the people, the communities speak out, and having that fourth estate live alive, man. As you see, the fourth estate is needed, especially when governments are going crazy. Of course, we'll be talking about the big bill as well. There's some things tied to that as far as ICE. Actually, speaking of jobs, while everyday citizens are losing their jobs, man, ICE is getting richer. The rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. So we'll be talking
mm,
about that situation. Again, more ICE agents expected out of this big, beautiful bill. I'm hearing reports about a $40,000 bonus. Yeah, we got some things to talk about with that situation.
mm.
And of course, what do we do about it? Of course, we like to have a solutions angle here, and as always, our solution is doing for self. You got to do it for yourself. So we talking about some things we have going on, some things maybe some other people have going on as far as responding to the situation, and trying to do for self. Again, building your own space, building your own place. If you don't envision a future for yourself, if you don't envision a space and a place for yourself, then who will?
Somebody going to.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a space you want to be in. You feel me? So yeah, we'll talk about all that and more as always. If there's anything we're not talking about, for missing the mark on the things, if there's some things happening in the community in your lives that you feel like, hey, we should be talking about this. This is important. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo, yo.
What's the word? What's the word?
Man, let's go ahead and take a quick break. It's 7:18 already. If you believe in the concept of time, again, first edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It's happening right now. We appreciate you guys joining us. Do us a favor, share the show on your page and get as many voices in as we can and have a good conversation today. And special guest Racquel Henderson on the way as well. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And yeah, don't you go no.
Ease into the smooth sounds of jazz at the Omaha Jazz Experience, Saturday, July 19th at Stinson Park. It's an unforgettable night of elegance featuring legendary saxophonist Marion Meadows with jazz icon Alex Bunyan. Also performing the king of contemporary jazz, Kim Waters. Don't miss Marion, Alex, and Kim live on July 19th. The music kicks off at 5 p.m. Visit eventbrite.com for ticket information.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Man, we forgot one of the biggest announcements of all for this week is the Content Creators Camp is starting on Saturday.
Slipping. We slipping.
Yeah, we slipping on the announcement because we're behind the scenes trying to get this show on the road. So appreciate everybody
Man.
that has reached out. We did say go to firstskyOmaha at Gmail and drop us a line. Let us know if you were interested, and many people did. So looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire here. I think we only got maybe one or two more spots left for this 8-person participants that we're trying to get down with here on this 4-week workshop. The 4-week workshop will be each Saturday morning from 10 to 12. And during the course of those 4 weeks, we're going to help you arrange a news piece. So that's write something out. That's also some multimedia stuff too, camera, audio, and do a finished piece by the fourth workshop. So you'll be learning, of course, a lot about being a trusted source, first of all, and also using your content creator skills, what you're already doing with your social media accounts and the kind of stuff that you do there already. And also just to become a citizen journalist, learn the tenets of journalism in order for you to be able to be a trusted source and also hold people accountable, man. This is what the fourth estate is for. It's what journalism is for you to be able to hold the people in power accountable. And where would we be right now with everything that's going on with ICE and everything else if we didn't have citizens out there with their cameras
Man.
capturing all the madness and the mayhem that's happening? Uh,
Man.
it's not it didn't it's not necessarily stopping it, but if you are exposing it, then you can take steps to start stopping it. And so that's the first line of defense, man. And it's one of the most gangster things in the world you can do is become a journalist and tell the truth and be out here witnessing and catching folks in the midst of doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. So hold people
Hey,
accountable. Yeah, man.
I'll put it like this, man. It's a reason that freedom of speech is the First Amendment and the right to bear arms is the second. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm. There you go. So yeah, if you're still interested, let us know. If we filled up the class, we have another one coming here in probably the last part of the year, and so we can always put you on a list for that. And then we have some bigger content creator camp things coming for 2026. So if we're definitely still
Man,
going to keep on trying to build this army of citizen journalists, which is what this is all about, so that we can
news game.
yeah, man, news gangs going down. So if you're interested, let us know. Hit us up at firstskyOmaha at gmail.com and we'll be talking about it for sure. Right on, pops. I appreciate you liking that funk there. That's some little old school stuff. I had to dig out of the crate, dig out of the archives from back in the day. What's going on? Kimmer says, "Do I got to bring my own bones?" Talking about talking about the domino tournament that we got going on
The
at the
kickback.
kickback. Pop says, "Look, the great pool players had their own stick.
Hey,
bring
bowlers bring their own ball.
bring your own bones." And three-peat reigning champ, Kimmer Snipes. We'll see. Well, somebody might toss you off your throne this time. We'll see. You done made a whole lot of people feel bad over the course of the last couple of years. So we'll see. Anyway, we go ahead and get it rolling here. It's 7:23 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, buddy, what's first on the agenda today?
Yeah, man, trying to put this thread together, and I like to again, this show is not a news broadcast in the sense that we deliver a series of stories and we just move on to the thing. If it bleeds, it leads. We're talking about death and then talking about dogs in the park. That's this is a continuous conversation and us trying to understand things. So I will start where we pretty much left off. Again, kind of talking about housing. Left off last episode or last season more so, really looking at the OHA situation. Actually, as we ended last season, some news dropped. If you are a subscriber to the weekly wrap newsletter, you might have saw this article posted in the newsletter. But again, big news as far as OHA. And I'm picking up here because, again, we're talking about spaces and places and housing and ICE. And actually, I'll start there, the ICE situation, and I'll round back around to housing. Um, a quick history lesson. I mentioned this word and I couldn't find the word last episode, and I found the word of the program that kind of puts a context into what's going on with ICE and again, spaces, the places, the season, and it's all connected as far as the black plight, the black vision of again, ICE spaces, the place being inspired by Afrofuturism, which again is the idea of black people specifically in America trying to find a place, trying to find a home. And as we see with this ICE situation, that plight is not too unfamiliar for our Mexican and Latino brothers and sisters. And the word and program that I was thinking of last episode is the Bracero program. For those who might be familiar with this or who might not, the Bracero program was a program that existed between the 40s and 60s. And it was a series of agreements between the Mexican government and the U.S. government to allow temporary laborers from Mexico, known as Braceros, to legally work in the United States. So that is kind of um, an early history of how we got to where we are now, because again, a lot of the workers and quote unquote illegal immigrants are people who are continuing this bracero work of agricultural work now. And it's quite interesting that back then, when the Great Depression hit, a lot of Americans started blaming Mexican Americans for taking jobs that they should be getting, that they felt that they should be getting, but ultimately really did not want, because the jobs that the Braceros took were actually the former jobs that sharecroppers had before they migrated north.
Mhm.
So this whole connection and conversation that's happening right now between whether or not, African Americans are connected to this ICE situation, it's all connected. And this is the thread that I'm thinking of and feeling and want to talk about today. And really, we'll get into the job situation here in a second, because it's all connected. How is the ICE and landlord situation? Well, this is coming out of AP, as far as where do you go, even when you have a home. Again, even when you're running. I'll just put it like this: immigration agents demand tenant information from landlords, stirring questions and confusion. This is actually out of the Associated Press, coming out.
Wait. You gotta say that again. You gotta say that again.
Was that too fast?
Yeah, you gotta say that again. Say that again?
Immigration agents, ICE, are demanding tenant information from landlords, stirring questions and confusion. You got it?
Yeah. Y'all got it?
Okay. Immigration authorities are demanding, this again from the Associated Press, that landlords turn over leases, rental applications, forwarding addresses, identification cards, and other information on their tenants. A sign that Trump administration is targeting them to assist in its drive for mass deportations. Uh, and we'll need to round back out to this mass
Man.
deportation, this alligator Alcatraz situation, because are they really being deported?
Mm.
And again, talking about jobs and this cheap labor, what is this really about? Again, according to this article, a 2-page information enforcement subpoena, which was shared by an Atlanta area real estate attorney, shared exclusively with the Associated Press, asked for information on other people who lived with a tenant. Also, a rental application can include work history, marital status, and family relationships. It is unclear how widely the subpoenas were issued, but they could signal a new front in the administration's efforts to locate people who are in the country illegally, many of whom were required to give authorities their U.S. addresses as a condition for initially entering the country without a visa. President Donald Trump largely ended temporary status for people who were allowed in the country under his predecessor, Joe Biden. Of course, a lot of people feeling like Trump's agenda is to undo a lot of agendas and a lot of things done under Biden and Obama, excuse me. But again, the article reads, some legal experts and property managers say the demands pose serious legal questions because they're not signed by a judge, and that if landlords do comply, they might risk violating the Fair Housing Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, or national origin. And again, I will extend this not to just those of Latin descent, but there's also, again, Haitians that are being deported and attacked. And there's some conversation and some fear among African American communities that, Black people might get wrapped up in that mistakenly.
Already getting wrapped up in that mistakenly.
So again, where is this ICE situation going? What is this really all about? I'll just put it out there. It's feeling like new slaves. It's feeling like a new era of slavery is being implemented in front of our very eyes. And housing is just one part of it. These landlords playing, and who are they looking out for? Obviously, we know themselves. And how will Omaha landlords react? Again, this story is based in Atlanta, but let's look at how landlords and property managers act in our area. Point in case, OHA,
Mm.
Omaha's public housing authority, the authority we pay for tax dollars. How do they act? Well, according to the Nebraska Examiner, Nebraska's largest public housing agency is suing the state over new eviction council laws. The Omaha Housing Authority, and shout out to Cindy Gonzalez, always doing the good work.
Shout out.
Shout out. She reports the Omaha Housing Authority, again, Nebraska's largest provider of government subsidized housing, has filed a lawsuit challenging part of a new state law requiring it to cover the cost of a court-appointed attorney for tenants to seek, or for tenants that it seeks to evict. So again, just to clarify, the law, shout out to Senator McKinney, who helped pass that law, requires that OHA pays for the legal defense for tenants when they choose to evict them. And again, we know this is a continued conversation that OHA chooses to evict people under nefarious terms,
To say the least.
to say the least. Apparently, in the lawsuit, it targets OHA, which oversees more than 2,500 dwellings and 5,000 housing vouchers. So again, thousands and thousands of tenants in the area under OHA. And became with no additional funding, the agency's leadership noted in a statement Monday. OHA apparently in the lawsuit asserts that the new provision, which it estimates could cost nearly $1 million annually, is unconstitutional and preempted by federal law. Whether we agree with this lawsuit or not, again, I'm using this as an example to show landlords aren't going to look out for us. I do want to give a shout out to, the likes of the land bank, Brother Don Curry, the sister, I forget her name. We talked about her on Monday. That's developing those houses, whether you agree with her or not. She's from the neighborhood and she's trying to do something.
Sister Betty.
Sister Betty, yeah. Those $250,000 houses. She's trying to do something herself.
Yeah. Shout out to the landlords that are trying to do something for sure.
And before I toss it to you, I'll add this element because we're talking about OHA. That's the public housing. Let's not talk about private and all of these slum apartments that have been getting shut down in this area. And, people, City View, which OHA is part owner of that as well.
Are they part owner or they just are housing a lot of OHA people there?
What's the difference?
True that.
What's the difference? They're just as much culpable.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Appreciate that. I'm ready to throw this out to the audience. I'm ready to throw this out to the public. How's any of this stuff affected you? To tell us if you got any experience with any kind of trouble with the housing situation. How's this affecting you? Remind me again, buddy, the tie-in because we started off talking about how what ICE is doing. There's already law. There's already some things out there that people are trying to change when it comes to whether or not you're going to have your credit checked. I mean, they were trying to pull some of that stuff back because now they check your credit, they check your income, they check all these things in order for you to get into a place. If you don't make enough money, if your money doesn't reach the point where a third of your money can go to rent, sometimes that's the reason for them to turn you down, and you don't know that until you're paying $200-300 for an application fee and all these
Man,
things that are out there in the first place. And now you're handing over all of your information, and then if you have any kind of situation going on where you're an immigrant or anything that's happening, now ICE can come in and take that information and track you down as well. Of this information that just these random landlords have on you because you had to fill out the applications. There's a lot to it, and we can sit in our houses now where we're at now and feel like, okay, well, I don't got to worry about it quite yet because I don't got to move. But us, we always moving for one reason or another, having to. So this is the very next place you move is you're gonna have to be subject to all these things. So I kind of want to put it out to you. What do you say the audience here, the people that are listening, ghost listeners, chat chimers, chime up. Let us know how any of these housing things are affecting you or family members that you know, people that you know. Uh, and getting back to this point that Buddy's making about we got to do for ourselves. What does that look like beyond Don Curry, beyond Sister Betty? What does it look like for people that own places already, or people that have housing that have places that the family has to come back to live with? And get together as a family again, living in the same house. Building. I know in California they just passed a law where you can build what they call a mother-in-law house in the back of your
Hmm.
property, and
Hmm.
a lot of grown kids are coming back to live in those spaces.
Yep.
We've always kind of had that out here in Nebraska, so there's always the ability to build something on some land in your backyard, another little apartment or something like that. How many people are having to do that?
Yeah.
Or those solutions that we're looking at? So lots of questions there, and I kind of want to put it out there to the chat to see what you guys think about it. I see Tony Johnson in the chat saying, "Listen to Mayor Ewing interview on KFAB, yes, and he noted that OPD would support ICE in arresting undocumented criminals in Omaha." See, I've been hearing the opposite of that, so that's interesting. If he said that on KFAB, I want to kind of hear what he has to say there because I
Mm.
got the impression that Mayor Ewing was not going or actually S- Chief Schmatter was not gonna was kind of battling a little bit the ICE and the sheriff's department and so on this. So I couldn't see how they weren't going to be helping law enforcement do law enforcement stuff if ICE has that designation even when they said it. So maybe Mary Ewing's just telling the truth about that now, or he had the meeting with Schmatter, and then now we know what's happening with that. So we'll definitely look into that, and we're looking at having Mary Ewing on the show, and some other pieces as well. We'll definitely put that question to him when we talk to him. He says Tony Johnson says do not really trust info ICE is using for lists, so could be slippery slope. I mean, they're already tapping restaurants and places of work to find out people's status and putting these raids together. Another big point of this situation with the ICE situation too has to do with the fact that they are ICE is um I'm losing my train of thought here on that. I shouldn't have looked at the
My
chat.
bad.
I looked at the chat and lost my train of thought. But ICE is signing these declarations and going and doing this stuff in there. And some of them are not getting signed by a judge, and people they've already addressed that. They're saying
Man.
the ones that we have and that we can enforce don't have to be signed by a judge because those ones where they're trying to get the information from the landlord, they have not been signed by judges. That's
Yep.
just something that they've decided they're making their own ICE declarations and using them as some kind of legal paper to go in and be legally allowed to do this stuff. Well, they're pushing back on that now and saying they are allowed to do this stuff and there'll be legal consequences if you don't comply. We don't have to wait on a judge's signature, according to ICE. I
Yep.
know that there's judges out there fighting that, so there's a lot to that. But yeah, let's go ahead and let me get to Buddy. Go ahead and ask your question. If while you guys are thinking about it, the chat's thinking about those questions, what do you have to say, Buddy?
Yeah, you had asked kind of what was the thread, what was I kind of threw a lot of things out there to begin with. And going along with what you're saying, people we're going to have to give up more and more information. And the real thread kind of connector to all of this is where we're all going as far as society. Look around you. Society is changing. And we've kind of mentioned it, here on the show, and we feel it, but let's really talk about it as far as the police state and the surveillance state that we're all getting into.
Mm,
There's the statement in the feeling. There's a quote. As far as the future, society says that you're going to own nothing. You're going to have everything and own nothing.
right.
And if you look at it, you don't own your movies, you don't own your TV show. Everything's a subscription base. We're seeing more and more apartments, which means less home ownership, less land ownership. So I mean, money is changing, like everything is changing. And then there's the idea that again, your social score and things that you do in society could possibly be changed or connected to your finances and your bank account, similar to what we're seeing in China.
Mhm.
All of these things are connected to, or I guess to me, I think of all of those things when I see what's happening as far as the ICE situation, as far as again, what we're talking about is the information, the police state, the extrajudicial moves that you're saying, as far as ICE forcing people to give up information without really any judge input any checks or balances or anything. Where is this going? And it's not just going to stop with this ICE situation with Latin Americans or Latin immigrants. It's not just going to stop there. And what are we going to do about it? Again, we're talking about housing because space is the place. It's an entry point to the conversation, but it's not just about housing. Again, the idea of us not owning anything is a problem.
Yep. Most definitely. And ownership, and we all know ownership is relative. I mean, even when you own something, they can take it by eminent domain if they wanted to. So there's not it's not just the ownership; it's the fighting for what you own. There's a lot of aspects to a lot of these things, and when we start talking about the solutions that we need to try to come up with, that we don't lean on politicians for, we don't lean on other people for, the solutions that us as community members and grassroots organizations need to come up with. Ownership is definitely in the conversation all the time. I shout out to the Black Agenda Alliance that secured some land over there. They got
Hmm.
many acreage land that they decided one of their first moves to make was to have some ownership of some land there and be able to do some things there. And they got plans to do things there. So that definitely is. And when you're talking about having especially like a black agenda, when you're talking about having ownership of your own land, your own housing, your own supply chains, your own companies, businesses, all of those things are things that we need to have, and that's been the story forever for especially for the black community forever. It's what do we own? What do we have?
Hmm.
Everything we have, we're getting from somebody else. So that's it's still a struggle, and while we're struggling, we have to deal with what's going on here now, which is how landlords work, housing works. The just the education system, everything. However, how it all works has is that we're subject to all those things. So definitely love to hear from you about how the housing situation has affected you guys too. We'll definitely check that out. Tony Johnson, morning show with Gary S. yesterday on KFAB, and hear what Mayor Ewing had to say on that, most definitely. And yeah, we'll keep rolling on it. So yeah, good thread, buddy. I appreciate you digging into some of that stuff and tying the things that ICE is doing right now. They were, everybody's really scared about ICE going into businesses and pulling people out while they're working. I got some footage of people of running Mexicans down in in the strawberry fields, chasing
Man.
them. Like, you gonna stop somebody from working? But
And
now
that's
they're taking a deeper step now, going and trying to find out where you live and where you're gonna live and where you move to and where you at before so they can go to your house.
but that's the thing. Listen to what you said. They're pulling up people at work. People are trying to work, to live, to provide, to survive. And
Jobs that
that's kind
nobody
of
else wants.
exactly. And that's why I brought up the Bracero situation earlier. Because again, we're talking about jobs, and even now, these are jobs that a lot of these farm owners and they still don't want to do those jobs, which is why there's reversal on the immigration policy.
Right. Yeah, Trump changed around
So
real quick on that one.
come on, man. And not just Trump, but his supporters.
Yeah.
So that's the connection that I'm getting to, because before we talk about ownership, before we get to that, we got to talk about jobs and access to jobs and access to capital and access to a way up, which
Yep.
is why Raquel is a perfect guest for today, because that's what all of this is about. As we see, we can't own any. Man, we can't own anything if we don't have jobs. If we don't have a way. I'm glad you brought up the BAA. I'm glad you brought up the BAA and ownership in the example that they're setting, because not only do they have ownership, but Brother Kasim is working.
Brother Casino owns companies that he hires people
Come
to
on,
work
man.
at.
That's the only way it's gonna work. That's the only way it's gonna work. And yeah, there's a feeling like if we own something, it can be taken away. But that's our right. It's our right to own things, and it's our right to fight for it.
Yep. I see it. 7:44 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, if you're just joining us, we're on this Space is the Place season, and we're talking about spaces and places. We're talking, and we have to in the season talking about spaces and places. We got to talk about what ICE is doing. We got to talk about alligator. What is it? Alligator Alcatraz that they're
Alcatraz,
building,
yeah. Yeah, man.
deporting people or putting people in basically what they are concentration camps. We talk about that in other states, but we got concentration camps that got built right over in Iowa, and we reported on that 4 years ago. What are they doing with these camps?
Man.
What's going on there? So lots to talk about there. We'll continue the conversation and definitely want to hear from you, Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners. Let us know how any of these housing things are affecting you. We'll take a quick little breather here and we'll come back and jump back into the conversation and hopefully anticipate. We're anticipating our special guest coming in, Sister Racquel Henderson, and we can talk a lot about the job situation and things that are coming as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy the guys. Stay tuned, y'all. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy the guy. Buddy the guy is in town. It's real interesting for us to be doing the show in the same room because we never do it like that. He's always somewhere else. So yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip just trying to navigate. Let us know how the tech is teching. I know that we got a little bit of a draw on the internet and it's causing some pixelation here. We're working on that right now. Let us know how the volume is on the microphones as well because can't really tell right now for some reason. Thanks, shout out to Judy Prinzler who brought it to her attention that we were kind of low this morning. So if we let us know how we're sounding, how we're looking, what's going on there, and I appreciate everybody that's joining us as well. And again, the show is 2 hours today. We're doing 2 hours now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in this new season, and I appreciate that. As you saw a little earlier on the break there, we've moved the Chad Chalmers kickback. I think it was RG that made the suggestion last time. We're having our kickback the same time Untamed is having their Untamed summer, and so we try to put our money where our mouth is on it. We always are talking about people clashing on dates, so we reached out to Brother Sherman Wells. He said yes, let's go ahead and put it in conjunction with Untamed Summer and do it over at AOS Assembly of the Saints, and so that's what's happening now. 4 to 7 on Sunday, August 3rd. The Chad Chalmers kickback is going to be in effect in conjunction with Untamed Summer, and it's going to be at the Assembly of the Saints, 4224 North 24th Street, Omaha, Nebraska. We're still going to try to do a few things in kind of potluck situation too. But we got Papa God on the grill. I can't wait for that. That's really going down. And of course, we'll have music, games. We're going to eat and kick it. You can bring the kids, and we'll have double the fun now because we'll have the Untamed Summer folks that are coming through and can get down. So looking forward to that in a big way. And I'm also looking forward to our special guest that just popped in. We're going to go ahead and bring her in, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, Racquel Henderson, the Jobbanista in chat. We call you the Jobbanista around here because every time we go to your page, you got a job posting listed. So how you doing this morning? Uh-oh, we don't hear you. Is your mic on? Yep.
Okay, can you hear me?
Got you now.
Loud and clear. Yeah.
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. Jobbanista. That's a new one on me.
Every time you post something, man, we put it on our friends at First Sky Omaha, and I title it "Jobby Job" because you're like the person that you're always posting about stuff, opportunities and stuff that's coming up, and you kind of got a little reputation that maybe you weren't aware of being the person that got them resources. And anytime people are looking for a job, they want to go to your page and see what you got going.
Oh, she knows. She knows. She does this. She does this. Man, I've actually never actually met you, but I've been a fan of the work that you've been doing for quite some time. Of course, the recent kind of, I don't know, promotion is the right word, or just a recent position that you've earned with the city of Omaha. A shout out to Mayor Ewing for making that move. But even before then, you've been doing the work. So it's like the job has been yours. But for those who might not be familiar with you, first of all, welcome to the show. Nice to meet you. Just let us know a little bit about yourself, who you are, and why you do what it is that you do.
Ooh, that's a
It's a lot.
question. Let's see. I'm Racquel Henderson, community liaison to the mayor for North Omaha.
Hey,
Additionally, I am a professor. I teach at the University of Omaha, um, University of Nebraska at Omaha. Let's see here. I
what do
am
you teach? What do
also
you teach over there? I'm sorry to interrupt.
I teach race, ethnicity, and criminal justice. So how
Okay.
we talk about the racial disparities that exist at every single level and stage of the criminal justice system, and how those issues start in disadvantaged communities and things like that.
Wow.
Hmm. Okay. 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 I man, that's that's even bigger than the jobs. But okay, doing the good work, doing the good work.
Yeah, and
Man.
then I do some consulting work, just and built a program called Skill Up with the network. Did some work with Mentor Nebraska regarding some system impacted things. Did some work with UNMC and the Community Wellness Collaborative. Just, wherever I can be of service. I mentor, so different things like that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to make you run down your whole resume, but I think more importantly, we want to know what is motivated you to do this kind of work that you do. What's explain your love for community and what your motivation behind it all.
Yeah. Well, I am reentry, so I'm system impacted. And I think just during my reentry, it was not trendy like it is now. There weren't a whole bunch of grant funds behind it or programs that you
Mm,
could just like, go to and have a helping hand. And
mhm.
so a lot of the opportunities that I ultimately got, I had to create for myself. And
Mm,
when I was inside, I read a book that had a quote in it by Denzel, and it said, "Work hard to get it, but when you get it, reach back and pull somebody else up." And so
mm,
that kind of became my mantra. And I didn't want to just like pave the way for myself. That wasn't enough for me. I wanted to be able to hold the door open for other people to walk through with me or behind me. I wanted things to be sustainable. I think sometimes, and no shade to anybody, but I think sometimes people work so hard, um, but they are oftentimes the only one there. And
mm,
so I know what it's like to be underestimated, overlooked, counted out. I wanted to try to create opportunities for people. I realized that most times when people know better, they'll do better. And
Yeah,
so just making sure that people are aware of what is available, creating what's not, providing access, opportunity, different things like that. Because um, a lot of systems define us by our worst moment and hardest seasons.
right.
Those are temporary. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so I want people to know that they are bigger than that. And sometimes those moments are necessary so that they can see their bigness and their strength and their greatness. So
What you're saying right now has hit me hard because from work I
man.
just did some work with the 180 rap program over at Metropolitan Community College. We did a video on some on this life program that they got over there, which is even bigger than the 180 rap because it digs into really like helping people find housing, transportation, all the
mhm,
things that when you come out, if your family is not in a position to help you with, you still need to get back on your feet. So you need a place to land
absolutely.
first, so on. So the fact that you didn't, you're saying those programs and really kind of didn't exist back when it happened to you. I just know from working with them how much work they do in trying to find jobs for people that came out, and all the things that they do, housing jobs. And if you had to do all that for yourself, well, it's no wonder you're the jobinista now because
Man.
you did all the work that these programs do just on your own, and
I
that makes a lot
actually
of
used to work at 180 Rap. I created the employment program piece. When it first started, it was only for education. So it's grown a lot.
wow,
They do amazing
Man,
work.
yeah,
wow.
big shout out to Diane Good Collins doing the good
Yes,
work over at 180.
so dope.
Yeah,
She is
yeah,
super
yeah,
dope.
yeah, yeah. Man, and I'll say this, like those watching, I'm having the physical body language and reaction because I'm just blown away. I just say that I'm blown away. The work that you were doing just from me from the outside looking in, the work that I see you doing, just posting jobs, making sure because I know how hard it is to find a good job. I know how
Yes.
hard it is
For sure. For
filling out
people
job
without a
applications.
record and without a setback, you
Man,
know?
and man, to know that you serve time and man, all the work that you're doing, you just grew like 20 feet before my very eyes. Like the work that you were doing as far as the job placement and things like that is already big. But to hear that your story and the fact that you're our first guest on Spaces to Play season, I don't know if y'all seeing what's like she's embodying what this season is about.
Yeah, big time.
So for you to be working for the city, a community liaison, a professor after serving time, that's huge. That's
That's
like
God.
that's man, peace God. That's nothing but God. That's nothing but God. But I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but it's real. Like the story that I'm talking about with the Braceros and people in the story of people in this country trying to find a place, trying to figure it out, going through things
Yeah.
and still pushing forward and not only pushing forward but reaching back. That's
Mhm.
huge. That's what this season is about crafting and building a path forward and reaching back. So thank you for the work that you're doing. And just hearing that little bit about your story is touching. It's touching.
Yeah,
So
I've
Thank
been
you.
a big fan for a while for the stuff that you're doing. So I'm really happy to have you on. In the chat, I see Tamika Renee is in the chat right now. She's saying, "Good morning, everyone. Raquel Henderson is doing great work. We appreciate you, sis."
Well,
So
she's so
some
dope.
sister love there, and yeah, that's again like I dropped the ball, and I was actually trying to have Miss Tamika Renee on the show with you this time. So now you hear me,
Oh,
Miss Tamika. I'm gonna ask you to come another time too because
yeah. She's dope and she
she
is doing amazing work in our community on so many levels and in so
yeah.
many different areas. And it's really a blessing for us to have her.
Well,
Truly.
Oh yeah.
I feel that way. I feel blessed right now to have y'all, the women in our
Hmm.
community that are doing this big work, and she's one of them. You're one of them. So really appreciate you. We're not gonna go on and and shower a whole bunch more because we want to hear from you. So, but we just want to let you know like where you
Yeah.
stand with us, and first and foremost, and where you stand in this community. I really appreciate it. Precious McKesson is another one. She's in there.
Yeah.
Good morning, First Sky fam.
You know,
I'm
Precious is the dopest. For real.
yeah.
And
Well,
I could go on and on.
I mean,
For
we
sure.
might have to have an episode where we do that because we love giving flowers
Yeah.
when it's definitely necessary. And I'm hit right now just with just I'm always inspired though. I'm always inspired by you guys, the women in our community that are doing this big work. And the big work is sometimes it's overwhelming, like the big work that you guys are doing. But all the women that are doing any size work because of love for the community is really what holds it all together. Like we can have the men out here doing a lot of the soldier work and a lot of the things that they do, but when women get together, Senator Ashley Spivey is another one. We can name so many women that are doing big things and really holding it together, and y'all are the reason why. So we really appreciate you. I want to know how. So I looked at your title for the new job that you took with Mayor Ewing, and you're a liaison, and the North Omaha is in that title. So you're a liaison to from North Omaha to the mayor. And how did you guys? How did that come? I don't think I've seen. Have I? I don't know if I've seen that position before you. Is this a new position that you guys came up with, or what do you think about the position?
I think the position is great. I think it's dope. I think it really speaks to like who I am and the work that I do. And I think in terms of Mayor Ewing, it speaks to like the work that he wants to see done. And so I really appreciate that because who I am in community is not someone that I set out to become. I just kind of grew into that person and into that role. The work that I do in community is just really, I guess, personal to me because I know what happens when that work is not done on the other side. And
Mm,
so, um, I love that when Mayor Ewing stepped into office, he didn't want to lead from a distance. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can tell that from him. He wanted to be connected, and he wanted someone to have an ear to the ground. And so I appreciate that. The position is not new per se. I guess it sat, maybe empty for a while, and he wanted to make
mm,
sure it was filled. It was not something that I applied for or anything. Shout out to Precious McKesson, you know. I was kind of selected for it, and so
Okay.
um,
They
I would
called you
say,
up.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But the result of just doing the work consistently and authentically,
mhm,
I think for sure. And it was not, I guess, I didn't know that it would lead to this. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mhm.
But I'm grateful for sure that it did, and just excited about the impact that this can have on the community.
mhm. That was my next question. What do you see? How do you see the impact happening? The fact that now we have a liaison, so we if those of us that can't directly call the mayor, we got somebody we can talk to about the issues and how often you guys meet. What do you see changing with the fact that this position is filled by you? What you think?
I see me being a pipeline per se, a
Mhm,
bridge between. I think that there's been a disconnect between our community and not just the mayor's office, but the city per se. And so
mhm,
trying to build that bridge, fill in those gaps, and make, not just create new things, but make things that are already existing better, more effective. I want to align with everything and everybody. How can I support what you're doing? How can I help make it better? What are some areas for growth? Like, I love that people are excited for me to like have this position because I am too, like for real. But at the end of the day, it's bigger than me. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And I don't look at it as just a job. It's about creating like real access. Like
mhm,
like individuals in the community having a voice and then not feeling or being performative, but actually like having follow up and solutions and implementation to things. It's about like breaking down barriers that have always existed for our people and making sure that we're not just surviving, but actually thriving because so many people
mhm,
are living in survival. And I don't even know that they know it because when I didn't even know that I was. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And so I've done this work for a long time on the outside, but now I feel like I have a chance to really like influence how things work on the inside
Mm,
and bringing my people with me. And
Yeah.
so just having the platform to like do what I'm doing, but bigger, and in the process uplift voices that, have been overlooked and underestimated, and it just
Mhm,
it's exciting because I feel like we're finally moving from being in a space of just talking about things to like actually being able to build and do things. And
yeah.
so, the impact won't, it may not be grandiose, especially immediately, but it'll be consistent. You know what I'm saying? It'll be
mm.
intentional. It will come with follow through and follow up. And it'll look like more youth being connected to different opportunities. It'll look like neighborhoods thriving and families getting the resources that they need. So, like things
Yeah.
like that, that'll lead to like bigger things.
You just answered my next question. I was going to say, what some of the things, what some of the the things you're most passionate about? Kids getting opportunities, here, and families getting resources and stuff like that is what you're really going to be working on a lot. Just
People
jumping in the
need.
chat real quick, and then I'll throw it over to Buddy. Also, Precious is saying if you aren't reaching back at this time, you're doing a disservice to the community.
That's
So
right.
that's what's up. She says, "Great work, great work. It was meant for you." I heard that. That's what's up going on. Willie Hamilton in the chat. Good morning, brother. He says, "Good morning, kings and queens." I appreciate that. Also,
Peace.
shout out to Kimra. Kimra Snipes is also one of the women that
Hey,
I feel really blessed that we have leading our community. Man, she's part of that.
absolutely. I connected with her. She was I believe, one of the first individuals that I met with once I
Nice,
started. The
nice.
work that she's doing with neighborhoods is just really dope and really exciting, and I'm excited to do what I can do to help.
Love it,
There you
love it.
go.
Marlon Harris in the chat says, I've seen you out at the 360 meetings, and I want to know what Mayor John Ewing Jr. is doing for the 186 formerly incarcerated people coming out. Oh, 186. Okay, I didn't heard about these formerly incarcerated people coming out. You just talking about in general, Brother Harrison? Let us know if you could answer his question there, Miss Henderson.
I can't answer any questions on behalf of the mayor.
There you go.
So I will ask him though for you. I definitely will.
That's what's up. Appreciate that.
There you go.
But I will say that Mayor Ewing understands that reentry is not just about second chances, but really restoring like dignity and
Mhm.
opportunity. And so he wants what's best for everyone. And I will say that he's working already to strengthen partnerships and organizations that are doing the work. And so just I think the biggest thing is going to be identifying the gaps and making sure that there's support there. But once again, I cannot speak on behalf of Mayor Ewing. I can only speak for Racquel Henderson. So
Heard that.
There you go.
Tony Johnson in the chat says, "What are the primary channels of communication you will use to communicate with the community?"
My Facebook has a big following, and so that's always my first go-to just because I know people are there and are gonna spread whatever I put on there. Um, I don't really see me building anything else because it's a lot of work and I don't have it. Of course, word of mouth spreads too. I'm at the 360 meeting, so if there's anything that needs to get out to the community, that can be put out there, definitely that's for sure. But I got a big mouth, so if something needs to go out, it's gonna reach.
They gonna hear you.
They're gonna hear
Well,
me.
we'll definitely say keep us in mind as well when you're ready for ready for that
Absolutely.
blast.
Now I can
Yes,
add
sir.
you. Yes. See
Yes,
your
yes, yes,
resource. See,
yes,
we're
yes.
building. We're building.
That's what it's
Love it, love
about.
it.
That's what it's about.
If you're just joining us, 8:07 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're sitting here with Miss Racquel Henderson, who is a highly anticipated guest. We've been trying to
Man,
figure out how to fit her in for a while now. She's here now, talking about the work that she's been doing and the work that she's doing now with the mayor. I don't know if how your time frame's going. You got a minute or two left, or how you doing over there, Miss Henderson?
Oh no, I'm good.
You good? Okay.
okay, okay.
I wanted to throw it over to Buddy. I have a tendency when I get excited, I have a tendency to hog up all the time with the guests. So I want to throw it over to Buddy so I can be fair with it. I know you got things going on in your mind.
A
What,
few things.
what's some of the questions you got for the sister?
Yeah, I actually wanted to jump back into the conversation we were having before you got on and kind of fold you into the context of the conversation as far as jobs and doing for self and really kind of figuring it out, and in your story is interesting. I think, there's even more that I would like to pull from your story and your experience and kind of pick your brain on, the role that jobs have and, securing jobs and making sure that people in the community have access to those opportunities, especially in context to, the justice system. And that's kind of the big solution that we found. Of course, Nebraska has one of the most overcrowded prison systems in the nation. And again, we talk about unemployment numbers. We talk about, especially again, of those numbers and incarcerated, a large part of them are black and brown bodies. Again,
Mhm.
black and brown communities don't really have much access to jobs. So again, I want to kind of pick your brain on the connection between what we're seeing with mass incarceration and jobs or access to jobs.
That's a great question. I don't think people realize like how significant something like a job is. People. So let's take for instance to someone that is not working, right? Maybe spending all their time all day in the streets hanging out. Now they are closer to recidivism, criminal activity. They're removed from their home essentially, disconnected because they're not being a provider, just different things like that. So, say that person gets access and opportunity and now has a great job, right? Now They're going to work for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, so they're not in the streets. Not only that, but now they feel good about themselves because they can provide for their family. So now not only are they at home more and providing, but they're showing up differently at home, right? Because now they're not angry, they're not bitter, they feeling good. Not only are they showing up differently at home, but maybe now they're showing up differently as a parent. You know what I'm saying? So now that kid is getting poured into in a different type of way. So now when that kid is going to school, they're no longer being a bully or navigating behavioral issues because that daddy is showing up differently and the house is stable. And so I don't think people realize how interconnected everything is when it comes to employment. And some people think like, oh, it's just a job. It's not. For a lot of people, it's stability, it's livelihood. And so it has a domino effect to impact so many other things. Um, the system was never designed for us. We know that, right?
Mm-mm.
Nebraska, like you said, has one of the biggest overcrowded prison systems in the nation. But a huge part of that is attributed to the fact that a lot of people are being locked out of opportunity before they even get locked up. And
Right.
that's why they're getting locked up. When people can't access jobs, living wages, don't have clear pathways to home ownership, like things that should be like mandatory for us, you know what I'm saying? Then they stuck in survival mode. And oftentimes that ends up with individuals being in the system. And so I want to make sure our people aren't just told good luck, you know what I'm saying? But like
Mm-hmm.
pushing for real conversations to increase like the workforce pipeline, hopefully, and like lead to like I said, sustainable change. Because until we address the barriers that keep formerly incarcerated individuals locked out, we're gonna keep being in this same space.
Yeah,
Feel that.
yeah. And the system that you described, a lot of people say the system is broken, and I don't believe that. I believe the
No,
system is working
it's designed. It does exactly what it was designed to do.
exactly. It is working exactly as it is designed to work. And to go back to how we started this conversation with jobs and the everyday individual trying to survive in the ICE situation. Um, actually, I do. Perfect. I want to dive into a few articles that were actually reported on this morning, and one of them I want to juxtapose really two articles. One is, as we've seen the mass layoffs and the industry that we're in, and media. Of course, there's about to be a huge wave of closings as millions and millions of dollars will be pulled out of uh, public media, actually
Mhm.
billions, $9.4 billion in funding to be cut from public media, which of course means people will be losing jobs, and we are seeing that across several industries. It's actually impacted, my family. My brother, he worked for Tesla and was laid off just unceremoniously, and he
Mm.
was one of their top workers and was just randomly laid off in a sweep of thousands. And while we're seeing that on one side, ICE is not having that issue. Again, the big beautiful bill is now adding reportedly 10,000
Mm.
new ICE agents to ICE, and not just that, but they're being paid handsomely.
Mm.
There's a video swirling around about a few senators and congressmen questioning about a few $100 billion in bonuses going to ICE agents. I think they broke it down to about $45,000 per ICE worker
Bonus.
bonus on top of their salary. On top of their salary. So it's not like there's not enough money out there, but where's it going? Where is it going? So while those, that's where the jobs are.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that marinate for a second.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
That's where the jobs are.
And their whole job is to go disrupt people at their
Well,
jobs,
yeah, absolutely.
go walk in their jobs and arrest folks. Yeah,
And
it's
and where are they taking them? I do want to, knowing that now that you did serve time, it is kind of interesting because I'm a believer that, really the prison system is nothing more than the new slavery system. That's all it is. And
Have you-
actually we
I'm sure you've read the new Jim Crow.
the new yes, and I've seen the documentary 13 also, which again points to the fact that it is in the Constitution that if you're convicted of a crime, you're a slave.
I mean, essentially,
You gotta listen to how it's worded. Listen to how
I
it's,
mean,
hey,
that's why I love
involuntary
that book
servitude,
because
unless
Michelle breaks it down how slavery was never ended, it was rebranded. This is in the
Mhm,
words of Michelle Alexander. She says that it was never fully abolished, that it has in fact just evolved and under a new name. And so, like you said, to say slavery is illegal, except as punishment for a crime, right? But the loophole was intentional, and we know that. And mass incarceration today is how they continue to exploit and control and dehumanize Black and Brown people. Why do you think that the majority of why do you think there's a disproportionate of population of Black and Brown individuals in prison in comparison to their white counterparts? Why do you think that Black and Brown people receive harsher sentences for the exact same crime in comparison to their white counterparts? And so
Yeah.
she calls it the new Jim Crow because incarceration strips people of their humanity, of their rights,
mhm,
of their dignity, of all the things that make them, that make us us. And if you compare that to having a felony on your record, when you do, it's like you're disposable. You know,
mhm,
you get out of prison and it's like you're still doing time because I done did my time, right? I'm done, right? No, I'm not, because now because of that I can't get I have decreased chances of access to housing and decreased chances of access to employment or high wage employment. Depending on my crime, I may not even be eligible to receive funding to go back to school and get my
yep,
education. I may even be out of applying and receiving certain benefits from the system, just different things like that. And so we have to dismantle and rebuild our own systems. You know what I'm saying? That truly honor people's work and potential and like break down these barriers because uh, I can,
exactly.
yeah.
If you're just joining us, 8:16 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I hear your phone chiming up. Everybody hitting you up already. It's getting that time in the morning where you just like me. I'm looking at my phone like, calm down, y'all ain't off the show yet. So yeah, we're getting that in because you do the good work and you're very diligent with the work and we appreciate it. And I'm thinking about what you're just talking about now, especially with the resources that you're trying to get for people that are formerly incarcerated. With the work that you're doing now with this position with the mayor, um, now that you can be a liaison between essentially the north side and the mayor, and that you guys are working on some of these things. What are some of the tell us a little bit about that, a little bit about the agenda that you're working with directly with the mayor on how to get people resources and so on.
I'm still new, so
Brand
I
new,
don't
that's
really
right.
know. I would be honest, I don't really know what all I can speak to and what all I can't, and I don't want
Got it.
to. You know,
Understood.
I think
Yeah.
that I think that my focus, for me specifically, my focus right now is just on connecting the dots.
Yeah.
And I just have been attempting to meet with everyone in my official capacity to say like simply like how can I align? Like what can we do for you? Where can i.e., the city, if possible, be a resource. And it may be possible, it may not be, but I want to try. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want
Mhm,
to know what everyone is doing and how I can support that. And I want collaboration, not competition. I don't want things and programs and people living in silos. I want us all working together
mm,
for the betterment of one Omaha, like a greater
mm,
place for everybody. And so that's what I'm focused on right now. Just want to really build those bridges and give people a voice. What are some of your issues? What are some of your concerns? I am not the be all end all, but the more that I know, the more that I can connect the dots, the more that I
mm.
can connect the people, the more that we can hopefully begin to create access and the things that we need. And so I just want to strengthen relationships, build relationships, listen, amplify, all those things.
Love it. We will leave it off with a couple of people in the chat that are saying the exact same thing you're saying. Kimber says, Everyone in the chat needs to do what they can do to make sure Raquel meets anybody in the community they know who's doing anything that produces any kind of positive impact.
That
Man,
part,
So
exactly. She
that part
summed it
exactly.
all up.
She
Yes.
did. Also, Tamika Renee said Raquel Henderson is able to offer perspective from a boots on the ground level. That's what we were missing. So she
mhm,
is showing up on spaces where other city staff and officials would not come to. She brings representation, greatness, and intentionality in every space she's in. There's a lot of work to do, but we will get further with you on board. Man, she
man.
said it all. So
Spaces, spaces and places.
really appreciate it. We're gonna let you get out of here because and quit berating you with all these questions that we got, especially the ones you can't answer yet. But we'll have you back on and
Yeah,
talk about some
I don't
more.
know what I can say yet. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, she said, I just got this job. Don't get me fired
Man,
now.
man,
Yeah,
right, 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 right.
that's what's up. Appreciate you very much for coming on in. Let me ask you a quick question before we let you go. Where do you eat around here? I'm looking for some new restaurants. What's good? What's good in your world?
I'm a simple girl and I love seafood. So I
Okay.
still go to Red Lobster like it's back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you can't
Hey,
beat
I
no cheddar bay biscuits, bro. You
You
can't beat
cannot beat you just can't. I mean,
hey,
and they consistent. You know what you gonna
there you
get.
go.
So
Shout
I'm a
out to
real life
the young brother.
girl. Yes,
Just
and now
shout
that
out to the young brother.
we're Black CEO, yeah, I'm giving you my money. I'm giving it to you.
There you go.
that brother's turning it around too, is what I hear. So yeah,
He is.
I
He
appreciate
is.
it. Yeah, you got some lobster on my mind now. I appreciate you.
And you
Appreciate
know what? I will say that spot on 30th and Ames,
you.
what is they called? First class, maybe I think.
30th and
They
8th.
they used to be the shoe store right there in the same lot where the old Emico and McDonald's
Oh,
is, but right there in the corner. I've been there a few times and I tell you, never miss. Never
okay.
miss.
I haven't
I'm
tried that
I'm
place yet.
rocking with it. It's black owned and it never miss. It has never failed me yet. And I have got
There
a
you
few
go.
different options from there. So I believe on
There you go.
Fridays they do like $5 Fridays. Sometimes they have wing specials, but I'm rocking with it.
What's up?
I
Okay.
don't know who
Okay.
own it. I don't know who own it. Don't but their food is good.
We gonna find out. There she goes, Shell
Uh-oh.
Shar in the chat. Another sister said first class, first class detail, fire $5 fish. Say what,
Okay. Okay. I
bro?
think I know what you're talking about. Right next to Mickey D's. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's good. Their food is that it don't miss.
There you
Okay,
go.
you gave me some great recommendations. I really appreciate it, and we'll have you back again sometime. You really take it easy. Tell Mayor
Thank you so
Ewing,
much.
yeah, tell him
Thanks
good
for
job for
having me.
hiring you.
Yeah, you tell them good job for hiring me.
I will.
All
Sounds good.
right.
I
See
have.
y'all later. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Peace.
Be
Peace.
Peace.
blessed.
Peace. Oh man, I
Man,
was really looking forward to that conversation there, man.
powerful system.
She's great. Like Pop said, she's
Man,
great.
man. Yeah.
Big time, big time. She's off the chain. Shout out to all the women, man. Shout out to the women holding things down in our community in a big way. We got some very powerful sisters that's doing some work that don't always get looked at and appreciated
Man.
enough, as far as I'm concerned. Stepping up to all the games. So man, we have to have. I've had it in my mind to do this kind of a dinner to honor the women. I'm ready to
Mm.
fire that back on up after our October gig. Who's the next one we do? Got to be something like that because these sisters are holding it down in a big way, man. So appreciate them, appreciate all of you, and appreciate her big time. We definitely got to have Miss Anderson back in a big way. I'm going to take a quick break and come back, and then we'll finish out the rest of the show here with a little bit more discussion, wrapping up the discussion for today. Let us know if you guys got anything going on, any haps coming up that you want to really talk about and big up. Before we get to that, of course, we got this Good Trouble Lives On March that's happening Thursday, July 11th from 6 to 9 from Heartland of America Park. I think it's supposed to march through downtown from 6 o'clock to 8 p.m. Man, you're going to put on your walking shoes for that one for real. But I did hear a lot of people going. March in Peace, Act in Power, kind of showing out for this the Good Trouble brother, man, representative. So shout out to Rev John Lewis who started that. Rest in peace, but his Good Trouble lives on, like they're saying here on this flyer. So if you want to get down with that, then please do, and it'll be a very interesting deal to do. And then also Saturday is there's Saturday the July 19th Omaha Jazz Experience is happening. That is definitely something that is going down. You might want to get your tickets and get ready to go for that. I think we're going to have a special guest on between now and Saturday to talk a little bit about what's happening at this event. Hopefully, one of the people performing. So we'll see how that's going. And then, of course, don't forget about Untamed Summer that's happening every Sunday this summer. And this summer, July 20th, coming out, DJ Ray Bay will be there. And this is one of these events, a community engagement event. You can bring the kids. It's going to be food, fun, and all kinds of good stuff. Shout out to Sherman Wells, Untamed, and shout out to Pastor Ballard with Assembly of the Saints. Yes, shout out to everybody that's putting this on. And speaking of which, our Chad Chalmers kickback is coming up Sunday, August 3rd, 2025 as well. That's happening. And we kind of putting our money where our mouth is with this one. We didn't want to put something on a date and a time that clashed with something that somebody else in the community is doing. So we reached out to Brother Sherman Wells, and now we're doing our Chad Chalmers kickback in conjunction with Untamed Summer. That's how that's rocking too. So yeah, just that's coming up. And then also don't forget, I think we got one or two more slots for the content creators camp that's starting July 19th in the morning, 10 o'clock. It's 10 to 12. On Saturday, it'll be the first class. There's still a little bit of time to come in. We're accepting 8 participants this time, and I think we got 1 or 2 slots left. So definitely hit us up at firstsky@gmail.com if you're interested in coming through. This will be a 4-week workshop that we're putting on. It'll be every Saturday from 10 to 12 for the next 4 weeks. And by the time the 4th week ends, you'll have a news piece that we helped you put together, and you'll learn some of the things that will help you become a more powerful citizen journalist using your content creator skills on your platform to do it. So this is something that we're continuing on. We did a content creators camp in 2023. We did one for Metropolitan Community College 180 rap program earlier this year, and we're gonna do this one this summer. So come on through, and then if you're interested and we fill up the eight slots, then we'll put you on the list for the next cohort, and we'll keep moving with this and build the army of citizen journalists that we're working on building. So shout out to
Yeah, man.
you and everybody who's been a part of it in the past. Hit us up, firstsky@gmail.com. Please do. So that's what's up. Pop says make sure the dinner is on a Women's Wednesday. Pop's favorite day. I love that.
Hey.
I will take a quick break and come right back. Here's some words from Tim Clark and a little message that he wants you to hear as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all.
Hello, I'm Tim Clark, chairman of the Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs. Our mission is to improve the social, economic, and political status of Nebraska's African American community through legislation, advocacy, education, and engagement. We focus on key areas: health and wellness, tackling disparities like higher rates of chronic disease, promoting access to culturally competent care, economic empowerment, supporting entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and equitable access to resources. Housing, addressing systemic discrimination, promoting fair housing opportunities. Education, fighting inequality through better funding, teacher training, and culturally relevant instruction. And finally, justice, challenging racial disparities in the justice system and supporting community-led efforts. To learn more, visit us at ncaa.nebraska.gov. We're committed to building a stronger and more equitable Nebraska together. Thank you.
Word out. Shout out to them for putting that message out there. As you know, the Nebraska Commission of African American Affairs has been in the news. They've been having some controversy lately, some things that's been going on inside the organization, and a lot of people speaking out about it. Last episode, we spoke about what it is they do and what they're supposed to do for us. And shout out to Tim Clark, who's in there trying to turn some things around and get some things fixed as well, and also just getting the message out. Because the message right now is that it's a dysfunctional group, and it's all in the news, and there's senators that are fighting against it and all kinds of stuff, and that's what it is. So for them to be putting out like at least whatever their thing is about, thank you. For them to be putting out at least what their mission is very very much the idea here. We need to know what they're supposed to be doing, or they want to do.
Right.
And so yeah, so shout out to them for putting that message out and going through us to put the message out. Shout out to Michael Scott, Tim Clark, everybody who's involved in getting that message out and try to write make the adjustments here to make this
Mhm.
thing do what it needs to do. So there you
Right
go.
the ship.
Right the ship. What's on your
Yeah,
mind, buddy?
yeah. Yeah, well, we can pick up right there. We kind of talked about the NCAA last episode and the importance of it, and the purpose. Like you said, we're glad that they're expressing it themselves because there was some question about what is this body for? Why does it exist? What is it supposed to be doing before you even hold it accountable? We have to know those things. What to hold it account to. But as I mentioned last episode, it is something that needs to be done. It is important because we need a voice. And again, um, this whole episode where we're getting to a point of doing for self. That is kind of the ultimate solution to all of the problems that I've been mentioning. We kind of can't be lazy about our own freedom. We can't we
Mhm.
can't as we were seeing, we can't, in the words that you always repeat from Senator McKinney, you can't just rely on, voting and elected officials to figure it out. You can't
Right.
just rely on the government necessarily to kind of do what it's supposed to do. I mean, essentially, that government is in place to make sure that its constituency and its citizenship does have protection and security and stability and all the things that are laid out in the Constitution. But as we see, we have to play a role in making sure that happens. And the point that I'm getting to in that is we have to have a voice. We have to have a seat at the table. Yes, we have to build and do for ourselves, but we can't do it outside of, or I guess with yeah, outside of the government, I would say we have to have a role. We have to do for ourselves in the government sphere. I guess is what I'm getting at. You
Mhm,
can't
mhm.
just we have to play a role. And what I'm getting at in this is we've talked about this party politics and the people maybe creating their own party and a possible third party. And Sister Raquel kind of mentioned that a little bit, and we were talking as far as again the system being really what it's designed to do. And a lot of people, we have this conversation about Democrats and Republicans on this show, and neither party really having um, the people in mind. And now there's in the news, of course, during the break, we haven't really talked about it, but the split between Trump and Elon. Nebraska Examiner is reporting that Elon is planning to possibly launch a quote unquote America party. And can he possibly get it on the ballot? And again, I'm not suggesting that we go along with the America Party, but I am bringing up the conversation of again doing for self, a third party, or some other body that we control.
Elon's reason for making a third party ain't got nothing to do with the reasons why we would want to make a third party.
Exactly. But the idea of a third party is now being presented and looking more like maybe a possibility. Again, before this whole Elon move, anytime I hear conversations about a third party, it's entertained, but it's not. It's like yeah, that's not possible. It's not going to work. It's kind of the conclusion a lot of people jump to. But Nebraska Examiner is posing the question: can he get this party on the ballot? For those who might not know about this, just a little context. Of course, Elon and Trump have had their issues, which has been publicly reported on and displayed. But again, Elon, the world's richest man, might have the power to do it. According to the article, if the world's richest man seriously pursues his goal of standing up what he calls the America Party, Musk will have to navigate a patchwork of state level requirements to get his party and its candidates on general election ballots across the country. Of course, the two-party system has largely retained its grip on American politics for more than a century. That is the system that we are used to. But as we are seeing, it's mostly propped up by tradition. The Tesla CEO has plenty of money, but loosening the grip would test the American Party's organization and popular support. Musk enjoyed extraordinary entry into the White House this winter, of course, with the whole Doge situation or Department of Government Efficiency Task Force. But of course, he and Trump, as I mentioned, and congressional Republicans have been fighting over the Big Beautiful Bill Act, a Trump signature domestic policy package containing massive tax cuts and deep reductions to social services funding. The law, which Trump signed on July 4th, just recently, is expected to add more than $4 trillion to the national debt, something that Musk is fighting over or not very happy with. But again, our solution is not letting billionaires decide our fate. What say you?
Yeah, good question. Appreciate that. Tony Johnson in the chat says both parties showed us that all it takes is money to enter the American political system. So, if that is, then with that in mind, you might be right that he might have a chance to do that. You take me back to the talks that we've had with brother Anthony Rogers Wright, Chad Sherman on the show, and other people about having a guest, the guest that we had on, Dr. Jill Stein,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Cornel West, who were running for president under other parties. First, I think Cornel West was in the Green Party first, and then moved to other parties. So they're trying to. We always have this debate every time it comes up. Do we try to go with the best? What was the least of two evils?
Right, right.
Or is this the time to make the stand? Brother Anthony Rogers Wright always throws us back to stuff that Brother Stokely Carmichael said back in the day, Brother James Baldwin said back in the day. Everybody, they've been fighting for a third party since the '60s and probably before that. There is there is a groups of people that religiously will vote third party, independent party at the very least, more and more. So, but yes, like Tony Johnson is saying, who do they ever come up with enough money for the third party? And I think there's probably more people that want to fix things within the parties that already exist. That is a huge thing as well. But what do? You're thinking about what do we do? I'm thinking in this terms of these lanes that we've been talking about a lot lately. Every lane is needed in order to form a whole highway in order to plow through a city. One of the lanes being politics, one of the lanes being local politicians being in seats, national politicians being in seats, doing for self we always tout. Every time we talk about it, we get to last part of the show and talk about how we need to do things for self, but like you said, to work along within the governmental system in a way that works so that we are taking control of things and owning things, but also the next lane over is having the right people in the seats in order to
Mm-hmm.
to push laws and things through that make it easy for us to be able to build and do for self. So yeah, there it is. Tony Johnson said y'all might be too young to remember Ross Perot. I remember all Ross Perot, little funny dude, said and how he disrupted that election. He came in with Googles of cash, just cash on cash on cash, and just and and basically bought himself in a run in the election just because he was
Man.
so rich. And then nobody knew who Ross Perot was except that he was real rich and decided to spend his own money on running.
Mm.
So yeah,
Scrooge McDuck.
right. Well, the modern day version of that might be Elon.
Hey, and Elon's talking about starting his own party. So again, and here we are, rounding right back around to the conversation we're having with Sister Racquel and the importance of jobs and, the moves to lock people out of those opportunities. I'm also reminded of, as you're talking about back in the day in the 60s, how did the civil rights movement work? Because there were blue collar workers.
Mm-hmm.
There were families that were funding that movement. When Martin Luther King Jr. would travel and go on those tours weren't free. Those hotels weren't free.
People using their own cars to give them rides from place to place.
People came together and made it happen. And whatever lane, again, to your point, everybody had a lane. But we put those lanes together and created change. And that's the ultimate, where I want to kind of bring this conversation to and end it with that. Everybody playing a role, but not doing it in a silo. Mm-hmm. Everybody playing their role together. Ubuntu. If you don't know that term, look it up. Do some homework. Ubuntu. UBUNTU. Ubuntu.
There you go.
Look it up. But as we're wrapping up, talking about lanes, let's talk about our lane and the content creators camp and our response to this whole situation.
There you go.
There you go. Because with First Sky Omaha, we chose to be a for-profit corporation because we wanted to charge our own future. we talk about this whole nonprofit city that we're in and the pitfalls of it. You're beholden to these family foundations to try to do your work, and you see when cats like Trump come in, everybody's getting a haircut, everybody's sweating. But when you track out to do for self, build your own future, chart your own future, imagine your own future, then you can do things like provide opportunities for other people, which is what we're doing with the Content Creators Camp. Again, this is our way of doing it.
Yeah, the one of the lanes is that we can't do anything without some proper communication between each other, and that's just what it is. And we don't have any choice about that. We're a couple of artists. We talk about this all the time. We're a couple of artists that are in totally different types of industries, but felt that we had to come together to use kind of the skills that we have in being able to communicate to people and dig in and get the right information and check that information, spread that information out and utilize that the way we are. So when we got into this space, we realized that there wasn't a whole lot of people able to do that, and we didn't have a whole lot of representation, and not a whole lot of people that had access to the community that could also spread the word. You know, you got your anomalies like Miss Racquel Henderson that we just had on. That she's right. She's got a huge Facebook following, big page. She puts something out, a lot of people see it. And if we can utilize her doing what she does there, us doing the same kind of thing, and everybody else who can be a part of that, then they can be a part of that information. Even Black Panthers had the Minister of Information. So we realized we didn't have a whole lot of folks here that we could hear and trust, and there was a trusted source, and they had access to our neighborhoods. And we went around first trying to look and try to find some, trying to hire some, trying to get other news groups to hire them, and there just weren't any. So we came to the conclusion we had to build them, and that's what this is about. So this is not just about giving opportunity, but this is also about building that army of citizen journalists to come and be able to be trusted sources and help spread some of this information. If we don't have the information first, we don't know how to act second. We don't know what to do because we don't have the proper information first. So we can,
Man,
this is where we start, and the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And again, we got a couple more slots on this content creators camp that's starting this Saturday, July 19th. This is the 19th, right? Yeah, 19th.
yeah,
And yeah, hit us up at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com if you're interested in this to get some more tips on that. Spread and get the word spread.
man. Like Raquel said, man, if you knew better, you do better. And
So
in order, how do you know if people don't communicate it to you?
there you go. Churches used to communicate a lot. Tony Johnson is saying that in the chat too. He says churches played a role. Now churches stay out of politics, but their pastors capitalize on politics.
Man,
Do churches stay out of politics?
yes, actually, I did see there's a recent article, a recent change in that though, which is kind of huge. I'm glad you mentioned that, brother Tony Johnson. I did a documentary back in college called Pulpits to Politics, which talks about that very thing, it examines the Black Lives Matter. It juxtaposes the Black Lives Matter movement versus the civil rights movement of the 60s and how churches played a role. Not just the leaders of the churches, but the physical buildings played a role of meeting places, planning places for the civil rights movements. A lot of the protests, a lot of the activities, a lot of the boycotts were planned at churches, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., like Reverend Kensington Steele, like a lot of reverends who were active in the civil rights movement. The churches played a huge role in that. Fast forward to the Black Lives Matter movement, not so much so. I mean, you might have a few religious leaders on the front lines, but large in part, not the case.
Mm.
But I did see that there was a recent change. I believe it has to do with tax exempt status of churches. It deals with their 501c3 or whatever the actual tax exempt code is that churches are designated under. But previously under that, they would lose their tax exempt status if they did endorse a political candidate. But I do believe that recent news has reported that that has changed. Yep. Christy Nor, thank you. Thank you. She says they can talk about politics now. That rule has changed, which is a huge thing. That is a huge thing. We all know the influence that, religious leaders and religious organizations have on how people think, how people view society. And this is a huge part. This is a huge part. So,
Bro, they're gonna start making churches pay taxes.
well, that's
Okay.
the thing. The rule is supposed to change to where they can without fear of losing their tax exempt status.
What I'm saying is, I think that what's going to end up happening is they're going to take their Texas in status away at
Mm.
some point. They're going to feel, and when that happens, so many churches going to fall.
I
So many churches going to close up at that point.
I think it depends on what political candidates they back.
Mm, true that.
Which again goes to the point. You know what I mean? This whole nonprofit grants and tax exempt status and all of this, it can be taken away.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It will be. It will be for sure. It'll be really interesting to see. It's 8:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got about 15 more minutes left in the broadcast. We appreciate everybody that's joined us with the comments and adding to the conversation here on these things. Space is the place, is the season, and we're talking about spaces and places. We're trying to build some threads out here that really kind of address a lot of these things, and we'll continue to talk about it. We'll continue to have guests on that are people that are stewards of state places and states spaces and places, so that they can talk about that, who provides spaces for us to thrive, for us to create, for us to live, for who's providing, who are the advocates of space. What do you feel like your place is here in Nebraska in particular, in this place, in this country? How do you feel? A lot of folks in Nebraska quit work, because of ICE threats. A lot of people who got sent away self-deported. They gave them
Man,
that option, and they just said, well, "Let me just go on and go because I don't want to mess with it." So, yeah, it is that in a big way. We're gonna take a quick break and come back and finish out the rest of the show. But again, we really appreciate everybody who is joining us here with these comments on this particular subject. We'll dive deeper in it too when we come back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Paul B, Buddy to God, all of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, stay tuned.
Ease into the smooth sounds of jazz at the Omaha Jazz Experience, Saturday, July 19th at Stinson Park. It's an unforgettable night of elegance featuring legendary saxophonist Marion Meadows with jazz icon Alex Bunyan. Also performing the king of contemporary jazz, Kim Waters. Don't miss Marion, Alex, and Kim live on July 19th. The music kicks off at 5 p.m. Visit eventbrite.com for ticket information.
Don't forget about the chat what we call the weekly wrap newsletter. It's picking up speed, and we're putting a lot of information down in there. It's going strong every week now. If you haven't signed up for it, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in to the chat as well. Please hit that link. Sign up to the weekly wrap. This is how we kind of really get the message to each other. You can also respond back to the newsletter as well, so we can have some two-way conversation. And we're always wondering how it is that you get your news, how it is that you get your information. And the survey that we put out here is about to wrap up here pretty soon. But I'll put that survey in the chat as well. We'd love for you to take a minute to fill that out in order to let us know what it is that you're doing, how it is that you get your information, how do you prefer to get your information. All those things are things that we are constantly looking at, and thinking about changing up based on what's going on with the social media platforms and all the ways that we try to communicate. We have to be looking at the communication ways to communicate on a daily basis,
Mhm.
really, because things change up so much and there's
Yeah.
restrictions everywhere and so on. So it goes down like that in a big way. Also, shout out to the city for this lead remediation process that they are continuing on. We got some stuff that we're going to talk about in October with them when October rolls around. We'll talk about some of the big cleanup things that are happening in the last push to get the last yards tested, because there's not really a whole lot of yards left in North Omaha. So they have an idea how many more people they need to test. We could reach the end of this. We could get to the point where we've tested all the yards in North and South Omaha, and they are remediated. They are lead free. So give them a call. Let them know what's going on. You can call their office at 402-731-3045. Get your land tested, your soil tested, your paint assessed. They will remove soil that has lead in it. They will replace soil and grass if they dig it up. They'll even do a dust assessment on your homes. This is very important for us, especially in North Omaha, with the age of the homes that we have. We still have homes that are 100 years old that still have lead paint on the windowsills and all kinds of stuff. So they will help get this taken care of, because for those you don't know, Lead poisoning is a real thing. It really helps hurts the children, especially the developmental abilities of children. It's a health hazard, and you really shouldn't even be growing your food in your yard and stuff like that if you got lead in the yard. So this is huge because again, because of environmental racism, because of redlining, because of everything else, we are living constantly in industrial places that were industrial zones before. So there's lead and stuff like that all in the ground, in the soil, in the water, and so this is the reason why we're a super fun site. And they are coming in to try to do something about getting rid of this stuff. So shout out to the city that wanted to pass that message along to you through us on really trying to make this happen. Please give them a call at 402-731-3045 to get your soil tested. If you have any question at all, just get it tested. It's free, and they do not disrupt your grass. They will fix anything that they dig up and figure out, and you'll be able to know whether or not you can do anything in that yard because of your lead. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to Lakeisha Green and the team over there at Union for Contemporary Art. Man, the season tickets are on sale now, man. Give them a call, 402-359-1476. Get tickets. Of course, you can go online at u-ca-org slash happenings. Man, Native Omaha Day special event is happening. The Union for Contemporary Art presents this thing called the Northside Carnation. It's written by our own Denise Chapman, starring Kathy Tyree. This will be the first show, but you can get season tickets if you go to the Union for Contemporary Art and buy season tickets for everything that's going on at the Shirley Tyree Theater. I'm so happy that that place is reactivated and things are going down, and Denise Chapman is back and Kathy Tyree's a part of it, and everything that's going down here. So definitely go check out the Union for Contemporary Art. Get your season tickets. Man, let's go to the theater, y'all. On the
Man,
Deuce.
take it to the stage.
Take it to the stage. Right on. 8:51 right now. In if you believe the concept of time, Pop says I get my news from First Sky, Midas Touch Network, PBS, and Brian Taylor Cohen. Okay,
Okay.
that's what's up, Pops. Appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah.
being a part of that. Man, I hope the PBS stays on.
Man, 9.6 billion.
I saw a cold piece from PBS last night, man, about this artist this young black woman who's a fashion designer and was a part of New York Fashion Week and doing
Hmm.
all these big things, and the piece was so clean and so good and so inspiring, and I was just like, who put this in? It was PBS. It was the PBS thing, and I just thought, man, quality stuff that you would never know about. Super diverse quality, pieces and entertainment and films and all kinds of stuff comes from public broadcasting. We're raised on that stuff, bro. We're raised
Man,
on Sesame Street and all the rest of
man.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, just think about what that means for news and information. You again, I'm just thinking about it now. Like public broadcasting isn't necessarily as beholden to advertisers as your mainstream news media.
It's
So
not
there's
beholden at all. They don't do
exactly,
it. They don't do advertising on it. Right.
exactly. So the brand of news is a little less tainted that you would get. And with this move, now we're left with Fox News, who possibly getting their latest lawsuit for for their poor reporting. And again, talking about if you knew better, you do better. Maybe they don't want us to know better.
Mm, bro.
And kind of wrapping up the conversation on the other side of what is if we don't build for ourselves, what is being presented and being built for us? Prisons. I'm gonna just call it what it is. And we've talked about
Mm,
this whole ICE situation as deportation, but is it deportation? Because last time I checked, they were still in Florida.
mm. I mean, they had to build buildings to keep them in Florida.
I mean, if you can call it a building, a few gates, a few fences, maggot infested food.
Camps. A few camps. Yeah, man, it's a messed up situation, and I've been hearing this other side of things where people are trying to always be like, "This is not our fight." Yeah, it is not one marginal group's fight. It's going down everywhere.
Hey man,
You're
we
about to
we
hire 10,000 new ICE agents
and pay them give them $40,000 bonuses.
on top of their salaries, and now they're hitting up landlords and saying, give me your tenants' information."
Yep.
And now, according to I think Tony Johnson said that Mayor Ewing was on KFAB yesterday saying that the OPD was going to help.
I got some questions about that.
I do
He
too.
said support, in what form, what type of support is OPD offering? I mean, if they are, I wouldn't be surprised, but we have had conversations in the past about that. They did mention that OPD, was given support in the form of traffic control for ICE raids, but other than that, I do have questions.
That's right. Definitely have questions. And if you have any questions, definitely let us know too. Hit us up at any time. First Guy Omaha Gmail. Mama God in the chat was saying 100% dependent on political or woke leaning to keep your nonprofit status if this administration gets their way. Gets get, gets it their way. Hmm. Okay. 100% dependent on political or woke leaning. Hmm.
Not quite sure what she means.
Yeah. I'm trying to place it where we were. She did it a little earlier where we were talking about something. So.
Yeah, talking about the church situation
Oh,
and,
right, right,
and
right.
whether churches, which political leanings they would have and whether or not that would impact their nonprofit status.
Interesting. Pop says, actually, I heard PBS say that the government is a small piece of their funding. It mainly comes from donors. Yeah, I did hear that it was a smaller percentage, but I don't know, man. What was it? $101 million.
Nah, man, 9.6 billion
I
according to
mean,
the article.
1.1 billion. Right, right. Yeah, that's this. Yeah, that was a lot of loot, and the affiliates of that may be what PBS small budget, but maybe not NPR's. NP,
Man,
and all the affiliates that deliver all the NPS and NPR stuff. Interesting. Tony Johnson says, unfortunately, you have to listen to the Omaha AM radio shows to really stay in the know of Nebraska. Makes sense. String push to save AM radio. Hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not used to. In California, we have AM radio that is not all Republican stuff.
man,
And I got here and you can't really find anything but church and Republicans on AM. I'm not sure if who's listening to AM anymore, and what what I'm saying. I'm not sure in our peers
man.
who's even listening to the radio, let alone AM.
I mean, a lot of folks act like we the only ones that's combating any of that stuff, or on the other side of it.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Bill King on battling on the radio front.
Hmm, hmm.
Still got 1690.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, man. That's what's up. Appreciate you guys, man. Anybody, any final words for the people? Anything swirling around your mind? We got about 3 minutes left to make sure we get it in because I know
Yeah,
we
I
have a
mean,
lot that we want to talk about today.
yeah, it is a lot of things swirling around, and tossing some things out. I don't think there's any conclusion or exclamation mark or drop the mic moment that's coming to me right now. As we mentioned, this is an ongoing conversation. Again, this is a conversation. This is not a news broadcast presentation in the sense that we give you a series of news packages and just move on to the next story.
Right.
These are things we're trying to find an understanding of, trying to find a solution through, and trying to come to a conclusion together. So yeah, if we missed the mark on anything, if we misspoke on anything, please charge that to our heads and not our hearts. Again, we're here to have the conversation with you, because we're all here in it together and trying to find a way. But again, I say it all the time, and I will continue to say it. We all we got, but that's enough.
There you
It's
go.
enough to figure it out. It's enough to figure it out. You don't have to do everything, but if everybody does what they can and we do it together, should be enough. Should be
Yeah,
enough.
we're
So
gonna get on these lanes of change in a big way.
big time, big
And
time. Look out on that note. Look out for other content on YouTube. And yeah, go ahead, Paul.
oh, I was just gonna say, and then on top of that, just like what Pops is saying about NPR and PBS, Trump ain't gonna he gonna tell us what we gonna say either. So
Oh yeah,
so we always gonna say what we're gonna say and do what we're gonna do, and I really appreciate everybody who joins in on this and supports it as well. Everybody who supports it too, man. Shout out to all the people who are members of the channel. The membership is growing. Like and subscribe over on YouTube. That's actually something we need to do a push on as well, so we
yep,
can get more people on there. But shout out to everybody who's sticking with Facebook strong. Like we get a lot of Facebook people that are still strong on Facebook when it comes to that kind of stuff. But be looking for other outlets because we Zuckerberg can decide he want to do something silly, and then Meta's done. So who knows? Who knows with this stuff? Big time. Don't forget that about some of the things that are happening. Of course, we have our Chad Chalmers kickback that we were talking about that's starting July 19th. Once again, please hit us up at firstsky@gmail.com if you're interested. Excuse me. I think we got about two more slots left. So go ahead, and we're taking 8 participants this time around. So come on through if you're interested in doing that. Even if you went to the last content creators camp, you want to do it again, come on through. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Also, don't forget Friday is the last day you can become an ambassador for Omaha Municipal Land Bank. You can go to their website, sign up, and become an ambassador. The commitment really is for you to come to meetings once a month for about 9 months, and each meeting will get closer to showing you how to deal with some of the land situation and become a developer. Become an ambassador. You have some information. You can talk to other people who might be able to do some development, and you can give them information and keep track of what's going on with the land plots in North and South Omaha. We always are talking about taking care of our neighborhoods and keeping an eye on those things. So, what better way to figure out empty lots and lands and places that are dilapidated homes that are being taken away, and stopping kind of outside developers from coming in to the neighborhood. And we can do that by taking control of our own lots and land in the neighborhoods, and we can do this by becoming an ambassador. That's your kind of your first step into the deep dive of that whole developer world. So check them out for sure. And then get your jazz on this Saturday, man. Saturday, July 19th, Stinson Park is going down. Stinson Park in Exarban. Some major heavy hitters coming through. Shout out to the Hollins Corporation for bringing out these heavy hitters, and everybody who helped them do that as well. I see they got a lot of sponsors down there at the bottom there: Douglas County, Mutual of Omaha, Metro, even the lottery. A lot of people chipping in on this because they know they bring the heavy hitters when it comes to the jazz each year. I've been doing it for a while, so shout out to them. And then also, Good Trouble lives on Thursday, July 17th from 6 to 9, Heartland of America Park in Omaha. There's a march going down. You can march through downtown from 6 to 8. March in peace, act in power. Shout out and rest in peace, Representative John Lewis. Man, but his legacy lives on. The Good Trouble March is happening. So get down on that. And also one more shout out to Kimera Snipes with her new goal of trying to reach a $3,000 so she can give 3 grants away to other organizations to do some work in the community. Here's her link if you want to link and help her raise that goal, get to the top of that thermometer there with the with the money. And when she reaches that $3,000 goal, she can give away 3 neighbor-led improvement project funds for people in Omaha. And we've seen her do this before, and it's been really interesting how how people are happy to get a little bit of money to do some stuff. Every little bit helps, and every community and every neighborhood can use these kinds of things. So shout out to One Omaha and the team over there, Kimmer and all the whole team doing the good work as well. Also, IB Black Girl has a fund as well too. So there's some funds out there too in order for us to kind of tap in and get busy. Shout out to Empowerment Network, who does a lot of things with the network and provides a lot of funding for a lot of the organizations in the network to also continue a lot of that work too. So appreciate you. We continue on. We're going to go ahead and get out of the show this morning. Marlon Harrison says one thing I say about a lot of Americans isn't that we're not running scared or hidden and actually fighting back, which is scary. A lot of powerful people, which is scaring a lot of powerful people. I agree. I agree. I do see that too, especially when we are searching for the news. The news doesn't always come mainstream about the resistance. That doesn't really. We have to kind of read between the lines on that sometimes, and we have to get reporting from, alternative organizations that are out there getting the real stories as well to find out about how much people are fighting back. And this is the reason why they're doing stuff like hiring 10,000 more ICE agents. If you've seen any footage in LA, there's a lot of pushback. They're rioting in the street over keeping ICE away from stuff. So you're right, brother Harrison. Got to keep our head up on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So appreciate you guys continuing part of the fight, buddy. You got some words for the people before we get out of here?
I think I said all I had to say today, man. I appreciate everybody as always for joining the conversation. Season 3B gearing up. So again, make sure you tell a friend we're back. And yeah, come on in, join the conversation, man. There's still a lot of people I run into that know about the show, but still a lot of people that don't. So again, there's still a lot of people that we can bring in into the conversation and at least let be aware of the conversation. Again, if you knew better, you do better. So let's communicate and get to the bottom of things together, man. So appreciate everybody for the support as always. Big shout out to our special guest today, first guest of the season, doing it right, man. Sister Racquel Henderson, putting in the good work. Big shout out to that sister. Learned a lot about her today, and yeah, powerful sister to have in our community, man. So shout out to all of you. Catch the same time, same place. As you see, 2 hours goes by quickly, but we're here. We're here doing it for you, man. So again, catch the same time, same place. Weekly wrap on Friday. So look out for that. Content Creators Camp on Saturday. Look out for that. Again, a few slots still open, and of course, Chat Chimer Kickback coming up in a few weeks. So again, we got a few things coming up. Stay tuned. Stay locked in. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away.
Man, shout out to Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the Chat Chimers, allowing us to speak with you. We'll do it again on Friday, same time, same place, 7 to 9. YouTube, like and subscribe. And on Facebook, share the show and do all the things so we can get as many voices in as possible. And we thank you for your support. Well, until then, we'll see you. Take care of yourselves. Rainy out there today. Get your umbrella out. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you Friday.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any